Okay. Chers amis, dear friends, liebe Freundinnen und Freunde eines freien,
Dear friends of a free, of a democratic Iran, of an Iran where men and women are equal, free, and can live safely. It is an enormous honor for me to be present here and speak to you. And it is a special honor to be able to speak after Mariam Rajavi. It's also a challenge to be the speaker after her. I come to this place, I look in your faces, and I see in the news the pictures, the images of many women, of many young women, and pictures of the men as well, who take to the streets day in, day out in Iran. And these images humble me as a woman and as a mother of 3 children. I ask myself, would I have the power to take to the streets? Would I have the strength to let my children go out to fight against a regime where I know that that regime will arrest me, can torture me, and can kill me? This strength that especially the women in Iran show, that is a strength, it's a symbol, a sign of humanism, of decisiveness, which goes far beyond the frontiers, the borders of Iran. You are an inspiration for women the world over, and especially for us who have the privilege to live as women in a free world. And these examples, this strength, this power, this inspiration show us that it's not a matter of course to be able to live in freedom. And it shows it is not the matter of women in Iran alone to fight for their freedom. Yes, we cannot, for our sisters, I think they are our sisters, we cannot take to the streets in Iran, but we can do our utmost to give them international support, to show them day in, day out, you are not alone. We are by your side and we fight with you. And Mariam Rajavi said it, the other previous speaker as well. This is not about handing a little bit more freedom to women. This is not about eliminating the obligation to wear a headscarf. No, this is about something very fundamental. This is about the right of every human being, no matter if man or woman, no matter if young or old, no matter if they are part of a minority or a majority. Every human being has the right to design their life the way they want it. That's a human right. It's inalienable. And that is the right the people in Iran are fighting for, and we are fighting with them. And the regime is a murderous regime. It's a murderous regime with a view to the international world. It supports terrorists. It supports fundamentalists. It does what it can not to live in peace with its neighbors. It is a regime that abuses the name of God, that abuses religion. It's a regime that is weak. Because how much fear does a regime need to have? Fear of children, of young people, of women. How much fear does a regime need to have if day in, day out, it put its own future, its young people into prison poison them or kills them. Such a regime needs to go down, and you are fighting for this. And that's why this is about more. This is about an Iran which can be so much more than it is now, than it has been for decades. This is not about replacing one dictatorship with another one. This is about turning Iran into what Maryam Rajavi, that the United Opposition put forward in their plan, to turn it into a democratic, a free, a peaceful Iran. An Iran that does not spread fear for its own people and the people outside of Iran, but an Iran that is an example of peace, freedom, and democracy. And for that as well, it needs international support, because at the end of the day, this is in our very own interest. And that's why we have come together here today. And dear friends, we have also come together remembering those who have suffered for those objectives and have died for them. The over 120,000 people over the past decades who have been executed for political reasons, many of them women, many in the massacre of 1988. Dear friends, remembering those who are in the jails right now, who are threatened by death sentences right now, being obliged to them, we have to stand up. We have, as the international community, say, this is not the fight of the Iranians alone. This is our fight. They are also fighting for us, and we are standing by their side. And I'd like to quote the US President Joe Biden. He recently was in Poland, then he paid a visit to Ukraine, and he said about the war that Russia started against the neighboring country. He said, dictatorships and dictators don't understand appeasement politics. They only understand one answer, and that answer can only be no, no, no. And that's why we are here, because, ahead of the International Women's Day, we say we are standing united with you in Iran to say no to a regime that oppresses its women, to say no to a regime that destroys its own future, to say no to a regime that does not let its people live in peace, to say no to a regime who is scared of people deciding their own politics about to be ruled by whom. We want to say yes to an Iran that is free. We want to say yes to an Iran that is democratic, and we want to say yes to international politics which does not just support the people in Iran in their uprising, not just with words, but through action. Therefore, on the day of women, on the day of on the International Women's Day, we need to say the Revolutionary Guards need to be on the list of terrorists as fast as possible.
Wir, die wir in der Sicherheit
us
die wir in der Sicherheit von Frieden und von Freiheit
living safely and with freedom,
euch
we
unterstützen,
know that we have to support you because you
von dem wir profitieren. Ihr
fight
kämpft für das, was
from
auch
what
für
we
uns
benefit. You fight for what is important to us as well. And at the end of the day, it's only you who can win and can defeat the regime, but we can help you. And that's what we want to do today. Thank you very much.